I'm Rob Skinner, and this is the Rob Skinner Podcast. I'm talking to James Rosenquist, who leads a church in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. After a long period of plateaued growth, they've started growing again. We're going to find out why. Hey, James, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for having me.
How are you enjoying the Healthy Church Growth Conference?
You know, it has been a phenomenal time so far. I came in not knowing what I needed, but knowing that God was going to do something while I was here. But the lessons, usually it's like, oh, the fellowship is awesome, but the lessons have been really helpful. And some helpful ideas, but I think more about who I want to be and how I want to change the way I practice my faith. Is what I'm walking away with so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Kevin's lesson this morning was really phenomenal. It just encouraged me so much. And he leads the church I'm a part of in Boston, but I was like, that was awesome. Really encouraging. I just have been so energized by the passion, the energy, just being together. I mean, as a church leader, you need that.
Yeah.
And when you come together, you go, I really needed this.
Yeah.
You just don't realize what you don't know, you know?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about Pittsburgh, how long you've been there.
So my wife and I moved to Pittsburgh 2012 as college, as campus ministers right out of college, graduated, moved up there, and we've been there for 14 years. We started leading the church in the middle of COVID, 2020/2021. There was a little bit of transition, so longer story, but we started leading then. And the church, when we were hired, the church was kind of at this high point of maybe like 115, and then sustaining that had been really challenging. And the campus ministry was kind of a staple for a while. And then when we started leading the church, and with some leadership transition and some other things going on, we had shrunk down to about 70 by the time we had gotten started with leading the church. And maybe actually the first couple years, it felt like we were just bleeding. It's like people were leaving for different reasons. Everyone was really nice about it.
Yeah.
We didn't have we hate you. They're like, wow, we're really praying for you, but it's just not the church for us. So it was like, could you pray for us? And
that almost hurts more, doesn't it?
It honestly did.
The pity, like, oh, good luck.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be doing what you're doing, but we hope it goes well. And like, just stay and help. Like, so that was really tough. We were kind of like, I grew up in our family of churches, and maybe in an odd way at like age 10, it's like, I want to be a minister.
Right.
I want to lead a church someday.
Right.
That was not what I envisioned kind of starting or beginning to lead a church to look like. So when we first started leading, I think I was like, okay, we're going to lead this like we did campus ministry. I have lots of ideas. We're going to try this. And okay, let's get all the leaders together. Here's the next plan. 3 months later, okay, that didn't really work. Here's the next plan. And the church that was still there was really supportive of like, okay, whatever kooky idea James has now, we're gonna follow that. Or as my wife Elena and I were praying, okay, we're gonna try this. And I don't think that was wrong, but I think it caught up with me, kind of a humanistic approach of this is going to be the thing that changes everything.
Right.
And I think 2024, we took a sabbatical, which is probably like the shortest history of starting to lead a church and taking a sabbatical. But our leadership was really supportive, and they knew it was good for them and good for us. And so we came back with kind of a clear vision of who we wanted to be in following Jesus, and that was going to determine how we led the church, if that makes sense. One of my biggest takeaways from that season was where Abraham is told by God, I am your very great reward. And I think I was like, oh, the growing church, that's the reward. If I do this stuff, that's the reward. It's like, no, God is the reward.
God is the reward.
And so we still have been doing kooky ideas and trying different things, and some things have panned out, and some things still haven't. But it's like being a different person in the same scenario where we're seeing God differently.
Exactly. Okay, so that's what I want to talk to you about. You've been there for 14 years. You took it over what year?
2021.
Right, the most terrible time, COVID.
Right.
I mean, that just tanked our church in Tucson. It just got so many churches. I mean, I know it affected churches of every family, every denomination. But you came out of it, and last year you experienced growth again. How? Like, what was different? What were you doing? What was working that helped you to multiply disciples and leaders?
I would love to be like, this is our, and we did. We had a 3-year plan that had nothing to do with the growth. Does that make sense? But we really were like, we have to focus on maturity. We have to focus on the people that we do have need to be equipped. And I think that was a shift for me. I was like, why aren't people doing this? And our families in Pittsburgh are fantastic. They've gone through so many unique challenges in their family and health and different things. And so we just realized we kind of need to focus more on equipping the leaders. There's no like special program that we came up with, but just a shift in focus. Recognizing for me, I was just talking to a brother in the hallway about this, but he said, every D group you were in, we would always tell you, why are you doing everything? And he's like, that's the only thing James ever got rebuked on, if you're doing everything. And I was like, it's true, and I still struggle with that, but just started raising other people up to do some things. And honestly, I don't, sabbatical helped with that because a lot of other people covered for us, and we didn't necessarily start doing the things that we were doing before once we came back. And so I think that freed us up to have more of a focus on the mission, more of a focus on training. We had some, you can't make it happen, but we had some amazing people move in, which was helpful. And what's cool about that is several of them that have moved in the last year were converted in Pittsburgh, had gone off into the ministry in other places, or had gone onto at least one guy had gone to plant a church or help plant a church. And they did great where they were, but they were ready to kind of come back to Pittsburgh. And so it was kind of the long, like, people that we really poured our heart into in the campus ministry came back, and now they're back in Pittsburgh, they have babies, and like, this is really cool. And as far as if there's anything I can point to, if this is the thing, I think it was just, what is it? Consistency. Just, we're going to keep trying to do the same stuff. Sometimes you just paint it up differently, or it's like, it's still just evangelism and trying to study the Bible with people, trying to inspire people. And the past year was encouraging to see, to start to build some momentum as a church.
How many baptisms did you have last year?
So we're a smaller church. We had 5 baptisms last year.
And the size of the church now?
Now we're at a little over 80.
That's
so
awesome.
Starting to grow.
Must have been really encouraging to start to see some positive momentum.
Yeah, absolutely.
You feeling hopeful about this year?
Yeah, this year, again, I feel like the things I'm pointing to that helped us are like cheat codes, like great people moving in. We were able to hire a couple to help with our campus ministry who've been awesome. And then we had 2 things so far this year. We have in the ACR, in our family of churches, instead of doing like a spring retreat this year, we did Campus Connect, which is kind of a version of a campus swap.
Okay.
But instead of going to a bunch of different schools in the whole region, we just picked 2 schools to go to. So we had 28 ministers and college students for a week in Pittsburgh, and we didn't have enough housing for them. So we called all the alumni from over the years. It's like $5,000 to be able to like host all these students. And that was cool because all these alumni were like, yeah, we want to see things revived at our old school and stuff. And so they shared their faith for a week straight. We have a bunch of new Bible studies from that. And then we have people studying the Bible from that are bringing out other people already. One, he was on campus, but he's a high school student. He got met on that week. And then he brought his mom to church. And his mom called last week and was like, how do I get connected? How do I become a member? I'm so grateful that my son is leading our family. She's a single mom, and she's like, we need this church, and she's been coming out, and it's been really cool.
Yeah. What I hear you saying is, 1, perseverance.
Mm-hmm.
Just sticking to it for 14 years, not quitting.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Trying different things, crazy ideas, keep experimenting.
Mm-hmm.
And then also praying. Keeping prayer going.
Yeah.
And what did I miss? Not doing it all yourself. Taking a sabbatical.
Yeah.
I mean, Pam and I took a sabbatical after, nearly 40 years in the ministry, really helped. And it makes you realize kingdom keeps going without you.
Yeah.
You're not indispensable.
Yeah.
And trying to raise up others. That's why I hear you say, not doing
Yeah.
it all. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, James, thank you so much for your faithful work in Pittsburgh. And I pray you'll just continue to grow. The church will grow there and see great, great things. I know we've had a great interaction in the past with a brother that we met. You helped baptize Jesse Robinson back in the day. And so thank you so much for your care and your love for people. I was really touched how caring you were, how personal you were. You didn't just write it in. It was very personal. And I was really grateful for that because I thought this guy is a genuine, loving person. So all the best to you in the future.
Hey, thanks so much. Thanks for talking and
Absolutely.
the process too.
Absolutely. And thanks for joining me on the Rob Skinner podcast. My goal is to inspire you to live a no regrets life, make this life count, and multiply disciples, leaders, and churches. Have a great day and make this life count.